Oh. 2, 3. Happy Tuesday, everybody! Welcome. It's June 18th, 2019. I am your pre-show navigator, Bryce Castillo. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We got a great show for you tonight. We don't have Mike TV on this week. He had a little bit of a family emergency at the last minute, so he had to bow out. And we totally understand, and it's not even a big deal. We'll have him back soon. We want the best for Mike, but just a last minute. We don't have a curse. Well, this show is not cursed. All right. I know people are asking, is the show cursed or cursed? I heard there might be a curse. We're not cursed. We're not cursed. We will one day have a musician. A musician. I can't even say the word. That's how cursed we are. It is not cursed. We do not have a curse. Do not be telling everyone, oh, we are cursed. We don't have a curse. We can have musicians on this show. No, we wish the best for Mike. He'll be back on soon. But in the meantime, we got a great show lined up for you. Brian, Justin, as normal. We have a game. We got a great game. BioCow came up with a great game. And you guys in the Discord and some of the folks on Twitter really did a really great job putting this together. I'm so excited to play our first edition of Headlines and Inklines. Yeah. That's going to be great. That's going to be a good one. And then it's just with all the good show stuff. All the good show stuff that you love and you know will be on the show. So that's it for a little bit of the preamble, but hi everybody. Hello. I'm going to crack open a nice Dr. Pep. We're not cursed. There's not a curse on this show, Brian.
I mean, we do curse on the show a lot.
We do curse on the show.
This is the ultimate show. If you love curses, this is the show for you.
Well, but we are not cursed. We're not cursed. Hey,
I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, when I think of curse, I think night attack.
Oh well, maybe even the best light. That's not the best image for us to have.
I mean, 5 best-selling mature comedy albums don't lie.
That's true.
If you want curse, go to Night Attack.
Well, I was putting together. We put up a video on Scam Nation today. With a little bit of the great talk we had in the mailbag from the Kate Raft episode.
Can I tell you how good I feel? Like, it's fun to watch the comments come in because there's the initial flash of people who, the looky-loos who are like, came here for a trick and this is a podcast. Right. And, to where...
When it's like, if you waited even 10 seconds, you would have known it's about magic.
It's about magic theory, right. And so, by the way, I've gotten very liberal at just deleting comments. Like, if I don't like it, it just goes now.
Justin will co-sign this. I had a moment today.
Oh, did you?
I had a moment today. But,
like, I'm done playing defense. If I ever want to play defense, I'll just delete the comment.
I mean, honestly, because we talked about this a lot on the Bizarre Briefing. But at the end of the day, like, the comments, whether they came in today or whether they came in 10 years ago, they will stay on the video. And they are a lasting remnant. They are attached to the video itself, right? They are a part of it as much as all the video content is.
Right.
And so hopefully, whatever. People delete comments.
Well,
that happens.
yes. Well, and actually, I mean, if anybody... calls out or whatever, they'll say, I say, like, oh, yes, we have minimum quality standards, and you failed. What is the minimum quality standard? It's
better than that.
It's what I like. And you failed to praise just try again.
And the other thing is, people don't check up on their comments.
Right.
That's partly why
you answer
YouTube
them, and then they never get the email. It shows up in the social folder or whatever.
Right. But even then, if you delete it and you never responded to it, they would never know. They would never know.
Right. So but here's what's interesting is you saw the initial, like, this isn't a trick. I knew that riddle. Whatever. But
then a lot of great responses.
Then you see people who finish the whole thing and they're like, holy shit. And then you start seeing the tweets coming out where it's like, this is an important video that you need to watch all of. I hope this is one of those Loki stealth sleeper hits for us, you know?
Yeah.
But I
hope so too. I mean,
going
not
back
just because it's a good bit and it promotes Night Attack, but also because like it is. I mean, you open up on Night Attack pretty regularly, almost every week, but I think this is a sensitive side and details that, you know, I don't think you've ever. I had barely ever heard in private, let alone you mentioned publicly.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's one of the things that really pleased me reviewing it, because you're like, hey, gonna hit, you know, publish on this. Sure, you should probably rewatch it.
Yeah.
And in rewatching it, you know, I texted Justin and was like, hey, man, I'm going to need a 2-key solution on this. Oh, my God. That fucking background looks awesome.
Oh, my God, look at that.
If you're going to have blown out graphics behind you, that is the way to do it. Make it look like crazy sci-fi vector graphics. That is rad, dude.
That's great.
That is Falcon, I think, did the animation, and ICU put together the 5-hour YouTube video that I can Chromecast.
Oh, that's so
great.
good.
You got to move it closer. Got to move it closer to your center so that we can see it on the 3-shot. But yeah, it looks great. Looks better than the Windows pipes.
So we were just saying that you know, we published that Scam Nation video, and I was saying that, you know, it was a heavy enough. Or Bryce said it's a heavy enough topic that it merits a rewatch, and I was like, man, I'm going to need a 2-key solution to make sure that we both feel good about this. And man, I just am so proud of the elevated dialogue that we had in that case. It was just great, and I'm really thrilled.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. If anything, I think the only. By the way, am I low or am I high? What am I?
You're good.
Am I good?
You're good.
The only thing that really is, you know, of any you know, that was my second level thought was like, oh, there's a ton of stuff in there that could probably be, that very much deserves more and further conversation. But at the same time, I think there's also just kind of a beauty to it being kind of this wacky, like, well, not wacky, but just an imperfect explosion of all these ideas. You know, that it was late in the show and it was the first time we were hanging out with Kate, but that energy, I think, translates where she's like, oh, by the way, I wanted to be a magician. And what kind of gets lost if people are watching that for the first time on Scam Nation is that, like, Kate's a comedy writer. Like, Kate's a professional comedy writer and comedian. Like, this is what her business is. She wound up going into comedy. She was born to be a performer, but she wanted to be a magician, and both culturally, you know, and you know how life worked out. It's like magic made it hostile in that moment where she was the most passionate about it, in a way that for, you know, boys aged 8 to 15, it's like, all right, look at these gigantic communities of all your new friends that also are all into the latest. I mean, all my magic references are like a fucking decade old, but like, you know,
the Fizbin drop
day video, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, even in comedy, so like the comparison between magic and comedy is brought up in the clip, and I think it's really apt. And I wonder if it's just because comedy tends to have a younger creator base, where you're starting to see that continue to flourish and open up more and more over the past, you know, 2 decades.
I mean, but also, I don't think you ever saw the comedy crash. Like, comedy in the 80s was rock and roll. You know, that was like you went to the laugh stop, man, and you knew that somebody was going to tickle your funny bone. And then, like, that all kind of died in the mid 90s, late 90s.
Well, but that was a failure of successes, right? Like, it was a failure because there had been such a boom that all these things had opened, and now all of a sudden there was not the talent to support it, and they collapsed. But I think the difference is that comedy had a reckoning in the 60s, where comedy became the mouthpiece of the counterculture. Comedy became subversion. Comedy became all these things that up till that point, sure, that had always been an element of comedy. There had always been dirty jokes told, but by and large, it was, vaudeville. It was Take My Wife, Please. It was regional in a lot of cases. And then comedy became synonymous with the culture on a level that, like, magic never really did, never really has. There's been celebrities and there's been counterculture magicians like Penn and Teller, but even then, they, for whatever reason, and I think part of it is just magic doesn't want to foster it. Every time that there's a big successful magician, magic spends all of its energy hating him, or maybe at one point her.
Hating him and copying him.
Yeah, exactly.
In equal parts.
Yeah, so it's and some of the vanguards have acted more appropriately than others. There are some magicians that have been very competitive about holding on to that top spot, and to the point where they've made anti-competitive moves that could be filed under not cool. But at the end of the day, their job was to get world famous, and they did. It was Magic's job to capitalize on it and spread the word, and it didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad it's doing well, because I think that was one of two sort of very short episodes we were a little afraid of, and so I'm glad you had the idea in the moment to kind of tie the podcast thing, and then I think it was like a few weeks later when you were like, we should do that
particular bit, yeah.
Rap
Which I
episode.
think really, I don't want to say saved it, but I think it was important to the bit, because
Sure.
at least it was directly magic theory related.
Yeah.
But
Scamnation.com.
what's the other one?
The other one?
Yeah, the other short
it's
one.
the calendar one.
Oh, yeah. That's a fun short one.
That's a fun show. So I think that'll be
That one's pretty
Thursday.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You learned something out of that one.
I think he solved that one too, but he didn't do it instantly in a way that wasn't fun.
Yeah. Well, that's a very unspoken thing about when we shoot the Scam Nation or like Scam School videos, is like the thing that we can tell people outright and always gets cut is like, hey, you need to talk this out. Otherwise, it's not fun if you're just silent the whole time.
Right. Well, and not that we give them specific direction. All I do
Right.
is I say, here's what does not make for a good episode. 10 minutes of this. and so like just keep that in mind, and you do you. And in this case, you do you was like
I know it.
Yeah. And it's like,
And usually,
congratulations, your prize is quite literally the worst episode we've ever done.
No. But usually, at least in maybe, I don't know if this is me writing memories that aren't there, but I usually think that person, or maybe this is my tendency to do this, would be like, oh, I know this. I'm not gonna.
And then they'll back, and we have had that a bunch where somebody
Right.
will recuse themselves, and
Right,
then it's
right,
like,
right,
well, I'll
right.
let them go first or whatever. But the I'm so glad with how it all turned out, and it is weird to me though that I would love to know the thought process that goes into someone's head when they see a puzzle and they solve it correctly, and because they solved it correctly, it has to get a thumbs down. Like, what
That
does
is a
that
weird
say
thing.
about your opinion of you? Like,
there is a very interesting idea of where we all believe we are in terms of the mean, right? Do we believe that we are smarter? Do we believe that we are dumber when it comes to puzzles? But I do think that part of the thing is like, there is the perfect puzzle is something that you spend a little bit of time on and then conquer, right? Because you want to feel like okay, I turned the gears a little bit, but then I got it, which was always the hard part about doing whenever I would write Go Game, prompts and puzzle, like things that they would have to go and find or solve, basically, because we would rarely leave shit places, but it was like, go to this building and figure out what the inscription is based on my stuff. I was always very cognizant of the idea that, like, in that moment when they're running around, their ability to solve these puzzles is not as great as you might think. And it's certainly not as great as like me thinking in my head, oh, what's the hardest way I can word this here in this Starbucks in Des Moines? It's oh, cool, I found it and good. And even if they can do it fast because that's timed, they're like, great, we're really smart. We figured it out immediately. Now we move on to the next thing. But in general, you want to think. You want to grind on.
Yeah. And I also think that, because there's an educational slant to the channel, that people think, oh, well, I didn't learn anything new.
Yeah.
Which I get. Actually, I think that I kind of see. I kind of can get that. But also, that's part of us, trying out the Scam Nation brand, is trying to broaden that a little bit and get people acclimated to, like, it's not all gonna be, a new flip. It will also sometimes be some headier stuff.
Right.
So that's yeah. Renaga says, well, there is no school in the name.
Yeah, I don't know where you got the idea that you're going to learn something here.
Yeah, exactly. We're just a nation.
Yeah.
One nation under God.
Under scam.
Well, I don't know which one's worse on that one. How's your Tuesday going, Justin?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Good. Got a lot of podcasting done. Did morning stream. Then did the revision on Raise the Dead episode 1. So I feel like that's like, I've yet to, I need to do one more kind of listen through. I did a lot of new recording on it, which means like there's always the like even when I listen to it on the board, it's not the same as like listening to it on like at a Dropbox or whatever, just to make sure that all the audio is there. But did that, did a PX3 interview. Did a jury episode, wrote the newsletter, and now we're here. Now that I think about it, I got a lot done.
You did a lot today. Yeah.
We did it.
Serve this little fellow.
Oh, that's a big fella.
This old chestnut.
Is that water or white wine?
It's a little gin and tonic.
Hey.
Oh, hello, old friend.
Hi.
Hey. Hi.
Hey.
I'd like to drink gin and tonics and peruse real estate listings. It's me, adult man.
Adult man?
Yes, I've grown. Not a boy anymore. I'm an adult man.
Isn't it past your bedtime, adult? Oh, no. Adult man doesn't have a bedtime.
Nope. I do what I want. I pay my taxes.
Well, you're doing better
Except the IRS keeps sending me this thing that like I owe them $100 more, and I'm starting to think that the IRS has a drug problem.
Is it like an actual letter, or is it just like someone
No,
on
it's
the
like
phone?
a letter, and so I immediately paid it,
Mhm.
and then I got another letter saying, "Hey, you owe the same amount of money," and I'm like, I don't know whether or not. I mean, I kind of feel like I should just pay it again.
Yeah, I don't know, because that's the scam, right? Is like the IRS calls you, and says, hey, you need to pay us $100 right now.
Well, yeah, but this is a letter.
Is it an official letterhead?
It's an official letter, and it goes to like a official vendor to pay them.
Are they having you pay it to a PayPal email address?
Are they having you pay in Pizza Hut gift cards?
Yeah, no, it's the official way that you pay your taxes, right? Send Amazon gift cards to official IRS at gmail.com on their Venmo.
The IRS is your PayPal. Your
Yeah.
paying pal. Yeah.
At gmailmailservice.co.uk.
Exactly.
JE email.
.ru.biz.
I am biz. I found this over at the local beverage place the other day.
Yeah, that's Specs. They got it all.
They had
Oh!
Sexy mini.
they had maybe like 2 or 3 of them. In fact, I took it up to cash out, and the guy, it wasn't in their system.
They're like, what
he
the
scanned
fuck
it.
is this?
What is this? He kept scanning it, it didn't work.
You do it, and it just says sexy mini.
Go up.
But you can kind of see it's got like a yellow here. I don't know if it's supposed to like it says lemonade here, so it makes me think that this is like a lemon flavor of vodka cola.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if this is like just what Africola is now.
OG Africola.
Yeah, and then I also they had that Cheerwine there, and they only had diet, and I didn't find out until I drank it.
Until after you'd spat it out all over the rug.
This is maybe the third time in a row I've tried to get Cheerwine, and it's been diet. Cheerwine and Mountain Dew are the ones that always get me with the labels, because they're.
I mean, I think legitimately Diet Mountain Dew might be better than Mountain Dew.
It's good. It is a good diet.
Yeah.
Diet Mountain Dew is. But it was just, they got me because I bought two of them.
This shit online like a human.
Can you get Cheerwine online? Cheerwine, if you don't know, is a cherry cola. It's a cola with a
cherry soda, right? I think a cola is defined by cola-ness.
Wait, no, isn't it the other way? Because I think the soda is
soda
clear.
is bubbly water.
Right.
A cola is a type of soda.
Yeah.
But
and this is a cherry cola, because cola is the brown drink with the
Right.
caramel flavoring.
But this Cheerwine is red though, right?
no, it's brown.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking. I'm thinking of Big Red. I guess I thought Cheerwine was.
Cheerwine. All right,
Yeah,
so
it
you
is
get
pretty
Cheerwine
red.
on Amazon.
It is a little red, but I think that's because the cherry flavor isn't like the syrupy fake cherry stuff.
So you can get a Cheerwine cherry fridge pack on Prime for $21. 12 pack.
Wow.
And then you can get 12-ounce glass bottles, but that's like somebody's just fucking fencing some Cheerwine on Amazon. It's just like regular ass, no Prime. They're gonna send that out of their back of their trunk. But $30 for 12 Cheerwines.
Jeez.
Hey man, that's arbitrage for it.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
Anyway, I miss Cheerwine because it used to be very easy to get it. It's very easy to get it in Virginia, and not so easy to get it in Texas. That and
Really?
Jones Cola. Like I like Jones. The Jones original cola is good.
Hey, Jones, aren't they didn't they do like the nutty Thanksgiving pack of sodas that were just like they had turkey flavored soda and
Oh, did they? I would try that.
flavored soda.
I would
and-
try that.
Yeah, no, it's problematic.
They have because they do all the different flavors, the blue
Yeah.
flavors, the green stuff. But their brown cola is good because it's like the pure cane sugar thing.
Like the Mexican.
Yeah, like a Mexican Coke.
Do you like that main root Mexican?
I do like it, but it's sweet. That's why I like it.
Yeah, their diet
Is the
tastes
diet good?
different. Well, I mean, I believe their diet they just substitute the right amount of Splenda for it, so it also
okay.
their diet version also tastes super sweet.
Interesting. I should try that because they serve it around here at a couple different places.
Yeah.
So that's soda talk.
Yeah, welcome to Soda Things.
Hey, can I bring up something from last week's pre-show?
Please.
What an upset was it that Andrew Heaton did not recognize a Rush Limbaugh impression?
Oh, I was very confused.
Wasn't that an upset? What an upset!
I mean, how do you not? Snurdly, explain to me.
Do you think the voice has drifted? Like if we'd listened to a Rush Limbaugh clip, would we find that
His voice has definitely drifted. I tried to bring this up, and then Justin challenged me to do current Rush Limbaugh, and I couldn't because his voice is reedier and squeakier now, and that second layer I can't do. But the tempo and cadence, I feel like Justin's got nailed down.
Tempo, I mean, obviously, it's a parody. It is a cartoon caricature of the Peak. But yeah, the big, deep, resonant, welcome back. Like that is
EIB Network.
EIB Network.
All right, this is a clip from this past week of Rush Limbaugh.
I was perusing the Drudge page.
He does more
All the
mouth
time
sounds
they are,
now.
but man, the Drudge page, depending on the time you look at it, I mean, it can make it look like this country's finished. We're done. It's over. You may as well forget about it. Just enjoy your life.
Yeah, it's definitely a cadence thing. Justin's Rush,
Yeah.
He also
California Justin
man,
Rush.
if you could find a sample from when he was fully deaf, that was really weird because he was constantly slurring all the time, but since he couldn't hear his own voice, he didn't know it. He was like, So what people would do is callers would come in, and as fast as they could, they would type out what the callers were saying for him to respond to it. And he was just like, well, bring up a good point. Much like people who are born deaf have difficulty nailing the nuanced pronunciations. It's you could definitely tell from that era.
That was I never really, because the biggest thing I get whenever I do the Drudge or the Rush Limbaugh impressions is usually it's like, oh my God, this is my dad's car.
Yes.
Or
your uncles or whoever drove you to soccer practice and was Lord Imperator of the radio.
Exactly. And that was just that. But I never really listened to him until kind of later. So but then I was aware of him. I had heard his voice, and he certainly had a very distinctive voice.
Yeah. Look at this. We got real PI work happening over here. Bryce has pinpointed the right time when he was deaf, and he's trying to find a sample from the year 2000.
Let's see. Is this? Maybe this will do it.
President George W. Bush calling to congratulate you on 20 years of important and excellent broadcasting.
Well, thank you, sir. You've stunned me. I'm shocked, but thank you so much.
Man, remember when a phone call from the president would stun you?
Oh, yeah, I know. Trump's halfway to fucking discounting his cameos.
How are you doing?
This might be too late for her.
When Trump calls in, like Trump is to Fox and Friends what that one guy who every single video posts on the comments, please teach the Tom Mullica trick is.
I mean, look, he called in to CNBC over the weekend a couple weeks ago. And there's a moment in every one of these call-in things where because these guys who are doing TV shows, they got the clocks. They know when their ad breaks are. Like, this is on rails. Everything is, like, timed out within an inch of its life. But then there's the president who's calling in, and there's always this moment where they're looking at their producers like, where are we going? Like, I don't know how to control him. Like, he's just rambling. Like, are we just running over all these commercials? Like, what do you want me to do? Should I jump in? Should I cut off the president? Also, he's saying the same thing over and over and over again. If he were literally anyone else, I would shut him down and redirect things. So there's always this helpless moment where they're just like,
you're like, well, I think there's even one moment on a Fox News clip where they're like, well, I'm sure you have lots of important stuff to get back to. And he's like, no, I really don't.
Another thing.
What else?
This is my TV time. I have found a clip on IMDb, and I don't exactly know what this is. This looks like to be some promotional video.
He had a TV show.
No rehab necessary. The only healthful addiction in America, that being an addiction to the Rush Limbaugh program.
Not as bassy, not as bad.
My gosh, the light just went off.
That's it.
Thanks to you, Peter. The light just went. How is it that the Democrats keep approaching people as though they're stupid?
I have been trying to nail DE_Dust2 for over 20 years now.
Why aren't any of you tanking up?
Take the mid. I'm sorry. I thought it was fairly obvious that if you're going to pick the healer class, that you would stick on the tank.
Did we have a Snerdley shot? That was a Snerdley shot.
Oh, was that Snerdley?
Yeah, I think we saw Snerdley.
Oh, I'll go back to
There it is.
That's it.
Snerdley's black?
Oh. Well, if you listen to the Rush Limbaugh program, you would know this.
I did not know that.
And before you call in, you liberal cucks, yes, Snerdley is African American.
How do you think Brian and I knew which one was Snerdley? We're going to be able to pick any other radio operator out of fucking sight.
He's not shy about letting us know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Why doesn't Andrew Heaton know who I am? We have not gotten to the bottom. I'll tell you what he does know, these big fat Patreon dollars. Holy shit, patreon.com/Andrew Heaton. Thank you to anybody on this show who supported it, but Brian and I gave him the hard sell on keeping this fucking party rolling, and holy shit, thank God we were right. Shingle and get $15.
Yeah, that would have been embarrassing, a little embarrassing. But that's exciting, man. I really hope he crosses that like $800 threshold. Like once you're at $800 an episode, you get to fully treat it like a real job, and it becomes real primary focus.
He'll hit it as soon as he actually starts doing it. You know, I think that's the big key is he gets out there and he starts talking to people, and people will figure it out. But I mean, now at this point, as soon as you get past like 500 an episode plus whatever the stuff on top is to counteract for all the fees, like now you're looking like $2K a month. That ain't whistling Dixie.
It's not a full-time job, but it is a gig. And if you spend 3 of your days working on it, you got room to make another gig.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, totally. And also it just frees you up to do other stuff because he's always done freelance stuff. So it's like that's a little 2K base.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Mike TV. I mentioned it a little bit before you guys came on. Mike couldn't join us today. He had a little family emergency. But he's running a Kickstarter, which he's going to promote on the show. YOLO420.com/GSG-Book1, the number 1. He's reached his goal, but I think he has some kind of big donors, and he's still got a lot of inventory left on these songbooks that he's making. So if you want one, you can go get one. He's taken his first album, So You Ruined Your Life, and he's doing like a little diary, basically, like with the official lyrics. He was telling me all about it, how I guess online, lyric websites have always gotten the lyrics wrong for the album.
Oh, really?
And because they all steal from each other, the wrong information.
There's no fixing it. There's no button to say, "Hi, I'm the artist." And even if you did fix it on that one site,
there's
all the others are stealing the other stuff. Yeah.
Right. And because
by the way, sometimes that happens on Genius. Before App Genius, now it's just Genius, so all genres are covered. But you'll see every once in a while there'll be like somebody explaining lyrics of like what happened, or like this is really about the lead singer's fight with his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And I saw one that was just like the lead singer's like, none of this is true. That was like number 1 comment. This is all fake.
Yeah, like
from the actual
verified.
person.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
But yeah, so there you go. Check it out.
Go get that because Mike TV is awesome.
Yeah, he is.
On any minute. By the way, there's no curse with musicians on this show.
There's not a curse. We can confirm today there is no curse.
No curse. Sure, the last 2 musicians that we booked have had to pull out at the last minute for personal reasons.
But those are 3 one-offs.
And to be clear, we have cursed on this show before. We curse. In fact, there are many curses. So many that we have the mature tag and explicit on there. So when you think of curses and and cursing, think Night Attack,
which is not cursed.
Home of all the curses.
Not a curse. Yeah. So yes, we curse.
We curse.
A
lot of curses on this show.
Not a curse. Wow. It might appear to be a curse. Not a curse, but a curse. But I want to let you know it's not a curse. Though we are cursing, this is not a curse.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of curses on
this show.
There's
a lot of cursing. No. Really just a waterfall, an endless lazy river of cursing. Emphasis on lazy. But I just want to let you also know that when it comes to this specific problem, musicians not being able to show up on the show because they've had last-minute personal problems, that's not a curse.
It's not a curse, and it's not true. Oh, that's why I brought up this Game Nation video earlier, was because that 14-minute clip from Night Attack that we put in there, I had to stop and listen to it like 10 times to make sure I caught all the curses.
Because you couldn't even. Yeah, there's so many curses on this show. You're right.
I know. I had to take my
How
sage.
many curses did you have to remove? How many curses did you have to remove before it was fit for public consumption?
It was probably 7 or 8 curses.
7 or 8 curses, yeah. And that was just in 14 minutes.
And those were not musical curses, which we don't have at all.
No,
don't have musical curses.
A musical curse is more like, fuck. That's a musical curse. So I guess now we do have musical curses.
Well, musician curses.
Oh,
a musician.
Yes. No, Brian, it might be easy to get confused, but I don't want anybody to do it. What Brian just did was a music curse.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Well, we have many of those. Brian just did one, so please stop emailing us.
Shit.
See, there we go. That's
Right.
another
Just
musical
it just
curse.
happens.
It's a great one. Yeah.
Night Attack is your home for cursed musical curse.
Musical curses. Yes.
But
But what we don't have is a musical curse wherein music is cursed on this show and people don't show up because they have last minute personal problems.
We don't have that one.
correct.
Don't have that.
We
We
don't
do have musical curses. We don't have a musical curse. I hope that's clear.
We do have musical curses. We don't have a musical curse.
I'm explaining it as slow as I can do it any slower.
Oh man.
Oh man. Oh, that reminds me. I need to pull up Stephen Coggle's song for the week.
That was a lot of fun with Andrew Heaton last week.
That was a good time.
Good show.
It was a blast. It was a blast, and I'm very, very, very excited to see what comes out of the new style.
That's right.
The new style. Yeah, man. Brian, what's? I guess we're about to do the show. I was gonna start doing another thing, but I guess we should not do another thing and just do a show.
Do a thing. Do a
What
thing.
were the there were two things.
Also, we have a good game today. We have a very good game that the community helped
yeah.
put together today.
Oh, that's right. We
Do you want to talk about the subject that we shouldn't talk about on the show now,
No. Wait,
and not talk about it at all?
which one?
Well, you texted me, "Hey, watch this Scam Nation episode," and then you texted me something else.
Oh, what did I
Why
say?
did you text him?
Oh, Bryce, what do you think he's fucking talking about?
Oh.
Oh, no. All right, I guess we could tease it because we could play a little for after show. We could play a game called Will It 3 Heads in a Row. That's what it's called. Can you get 3 heads in a row?
I mean, all right, just set it up. We don't need to set it up for the after show.
Let the people
Also,
know.
the after show is a bad idea. That's a bad idea.
Oh,
because
you think that the action's too hot?
the last time we tried to do it, I was like, Brian, focus on the game. Let me handle the dancing around. This will be the fun part about it. But you, from being a fucking professional, you can't do it. If the hot light is on, you are making donuts and you are talking to the people and responding to the chat. And I'm like, I can't do that to you. Not when you're this close. Like,
All right,
you
all
need
right.
full concentration.
I got to, for those who care, which is nobody, I got to rank one 4 stars this afternoon.
Is it 4?
It was a 4, and then
Oh, it was
I
4.
dipped down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I got 1 star, possibly 2 stars away from legend, which is pretty big.
Wow.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
Is that right? Is that why you were late picking up our child?
Oh shit!
Fucking Bryce will back me up. That was when we were reviewing Scam Nation.
We were
to
working on video
launch.
launches.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, you still fucked up. That's
So she gets So she gets whisked away down to Pound Town. I don't know how I feel about that.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
No,
don't you know? I don't want to know this one actually.
Well, no, like I was supposed to pick her up at 4, and at 4:04, the phone rang, and I was like, "Oh shit! No, I'll come right over." And it's like 5 minutes away, but I guess, Callie's friend's dad had a tight enough schedule. He's like, I've got to run 30 minutes errands. I'll just bring her by. I'm like, great. And then he texted me like, might be an hour and a half. and I'm like, okay, well, we kind of have this dinner thing. So I had to run down to Dripping Springs, where he happened to be, which we refused to call Dripping Springs. It's Pound Town.
Oh, I see.
And
so he already picked her up and was taking her.
Well, yeah, she was over there playing with her friend, and it was my job to pick her up at exactly 4. I didn't realize that the window was so narrow.
So tight, yeah. Whoopsie.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I still fucked up.
You did. But really, they've been 10 minutes late.
I mean, right?
Everybody's been 10 minutes
404
late.
is not exactly I should feel super guilty territory.
Yeah, no,
okay,
I mean,
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you answered you were like, "Oh shit, I forgot my child," you should feel a little guilty about. But
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, you did make it to rank 1 4 stars.
God damn it.
So.
Wow. Oh my God. Ba, 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 ba. We have unrelenting mental violence happening. The harshest wife put downs you have ever heard.
I hadn't even had my sips of wine yet. You just fucking wait.
She ain't even had her wine yet.
Sober!
When she gets the ball back, you better get back because she's scorching the earth.
This just in. Author of The Professional's Guide to Fire Eating now covered 90% of his body with burns.
She pledged in front of God that you can have and hold these nuts.
Well,
Wife Insults, Volume 7.
And white tapes.
Oh.
Clacky D, I agree. I think Justin's mic is a little bit low. I don't know if that's on our end or
we keep
or
him turned
his.
down a little bit because Skype also compresses a lot of them. He
I can goose her a little.
he is fine. Our in studio is maybe a little quiet.
There you go. Stop! He's already dead.
All right, you guys want to do a show?
Well,
let me do.
yeah. After those sick burns, I gotta go apply
Freshman
makeup for the sweat shine over
right.
my head now.
You boys go. Bonnie and I'll hold down the fort.
All right, cool.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. How's your Hearthstone ranking?
Non-existent.
Non-existent.
I haven't played.
Good for
I haven't
you.
played Hearthstone in about a year.
3 hours.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's-
tomorrow, June 19th. I'm a
You know-
Juneteenth.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I think I'm trying to find something to do this weekend. There's like a little music festival in at the Circuit of the Americas over the weekend.
Ooh.
So I might try to go to that because I think it's a nice little lineup and it's just one stage, and so I might.
Oh,
I might
it
go
is. That's nice.
Yeah.
I do like that because then it feels like a coherent show. You know.
Right, you're not like trying to decide, which do I want to go to, and so yeah. So I think I'm gonna go do that and just have a little music day.
Are you going to get the ice cream wrapped in what are those fruit strips?
Fruit by the foot?
Yeah, it's like they put it in what's the kind that is all flat, like the big flat kind?
Oh, fruit roll-ups.
Fruit roll-ups, and then they put it inside of cotton candy.
What?
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, my kids had it, and my kids with food allergies were able to have it. Isn't that insane?
Oh, sure, because none of that's food.
That's exactly
It's
it.
a little bit of milk and about
Yeah.
50% plastic. So.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, no, I've never heard of that. Is that something that they do at that place specifically?
Yeah, at that venue. Like, that's where they
okay.
did Muse at, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
the one and only concert we took our kids to was Muse. Isn't that weird?
oh man, I'll have to check that out because I know they have food and stuff there.
Yeah, that I don't know if their vendors change or what, but it seemed like it was a
They might. They probably.
an
I'll keep
attraction.
an eye out for it.
Yeah.
That sounds right up my alley.
non-foods.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh, I
Lobro. We got
know.
Lobro in the chat. Hey, man, how's it going? If you guys didn't know, Lobro just celebrated his 2nd year anniversary of streaming on Twitch.
Oh.
I think that was last week. Congrats, man. Congratulations. If you don't follow him, check him out. Check him out. He's a good guy.
That's great.
Yeah, so I'm trying to. So that's that. We have a little shoot on Saturday, but then Sundays for the boys.
Aha. My kids laughed at me because I
Laughed at you.
we were talking. Oh yeah, they laughed at me a lot today. So, and Penny
Who
can now,
laughed at you?
Her kids.
all of them, but
Why
Penny
are they
can
laughing at you?
Penny can indistinguish it. Like she can copy my voice so perfectly. Like if you called on the phone and she picked up, you would not know. Like it's
Really?
awful. And then she just sits there and does the repeating everything I say. Come on, kids, you got to go in the door. And then Sneakers comes and like starts like barking me up. I'm like, stupid dog, because I trip over him. And then she goes, stupid dog, you know? And I'm like, ooh,
This
wait.
is Callie?
I'm a terrible person. Like when I hear myself.
Yeah, but no, legitimately, he is a very stupid dog.
No, I mean, right.
I mean, that's like that's like walking out and saying like, blue sky, so blue.
No, it's not just Callie that can do a pretty good impression of me. It's Penny too, which is even worse as a teenager. She's got a scathing wit about her, so it's like, oh man.
Oh man. Well, you should unleash Mom Burns Volume 1.
Oh, I kind of did today. I don't know if this is.
Night attack material.
Well, it is.
Safe.
I don't know. I mean, it might even be too harsh for Night Attack.
Nope. What you got?
Like, when Josie was little, she used to be scared of old people, like old women, because they had wrinkles.
Yeah.
And, you know, they just looked
Also,
old.
they're always constantly throwing curses on podcasts.
Right,
They're
right.
like, nary a musician shall appear again.
Which is not anything that has happened with this program.
No.
No, we have not. We don't have a musical curse.
Okay.
Musical curses.
That is good. No, but she used to think they're all witches. And so she would hide behind me. And I'd look at her, I'd be like, what's going on? Like if we're in the grocery store and there's an old lady, and then she would like, I'm like, what is going on? She goes, it's a witch. I'd be like, oh my God. I mean, you know, like the lady can't hear us, but you know, no. And then, so I said that, and then Josie goes, oh man, I feel really bad about all those people, you know. I said, don't worry, they're probably all dead now. And then she was just like, oh my God.
Mom Burns Volume 1. Childhood trauma revisited.
Shit.
I know it's bad because then she ran off to go tell Penny what I said. You know?
This is when?
Today.
Oh my God!
You're just a machine gun today.
Yes,
You were
I
just
guess.
mowing down everybody.
Bonnie's definitely like, she's pretty much had it, and it's only Tuesday. we have an entire week of camps, so
Oh,
Bonnie is
God.
playing
And
4-hour
driver's ed.
taxi cab every day.
No, longer than that.
Longer than that.
I burned up a
So
gallon.
many hydrocarbons. Like,
I
you're welcome,
did.
planet Earth, for being 1 degree toastier.
I
She's
feel
technically carpooling.
I know.
That's-
How much are you going to resent new parents when autonomous driving's a thing and you could like reliably just put your kid in a car without a driver and not worrying about it like kidnapping your child
Oh my.
and just let it get from point A to point B?
Oh.
You guys are going to be like, we drove uphill both ways. To get
I mean,
our kid."
That
okay,
would be
if
insane.
we get
if
to
you
be
could
mad
do
about that. However, then I feel like we don't have any moral footing because we have mobile devices for all of our
Oh,
children.
I know this
and
is
it's like,
true.
shut up. All of you, shut up.
So my brother, who by the way, now he's actually podcasting. My little brother Eric is
No
doing the Young
kidding.
Family podcast with his wife Carolyn. They're doing 2 days a week. They took over Jury for me, and they liked it so much that they basically just took the format, and now they're doing it. But it's about their life and my niece and my nephew. But apparently the nephew, they've trained him now. He's 3 years old. The stay and play phenomenon.
Oh yeah.
There's they have a clock that it's like green means go. So when he wakes up in the morning, he's allowed to play as much as he wants with these, you know, pre-approved toys. But the one that has been the absolute silencer, of course, is the iPad that he has like YouTube Kids, and he can watch what he watches on YouTube Kids. But he also apparently has been using Siri and has now just started calling like this like 5-person loop of people in our family, like my mom Carolyn's mom and dad and Carolyn's sister. So that's what he does. He's like a little CEO on like every morning, up at 5 o'clock in the morning, making calls, just making sure that everything's okay.
That's amazing.
So they get to sleep in. However, none of the family does because he's just calling everybody.
It's like the end of The Ring or It Follows, where it's like they give the device and then it's like they get to sleep and nobody else does.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're up. It's just a matter of not having him. It's just training him to be like in his room until 6 in the morning.
Yes. I
then-
understand that.
Yeah, then because they also have the younger one, so it's like if she wakes up and now he wakes up because of it, it's like, nope, you don't get to come out. You know, call Gloria Young 50 times.
Aww.
So now, listen, there's a real possibility that my mom could get a drunk son call at 1 o'clock Eastern time for a night attack. And then only a scant few hours later, get a FaceTime call from my nephew.
Oh my God.
That's love, man. Remember all those boomers saying like, "Well, it used to be you were all in the same house and you were all connected." Well, guess what? We're bringing it back. You get all the waking ups as if Grandma was living right here with you.
Although my mom was explaining it, she's like, "Yeah, I never see him. I just see the ceiling.
Yeah.
He sees me, but I just see the ceiling."
Because he's FaceTiming. Oh.
Aw.
Oh, jeez.
All right, you guys feeling it?
Yeah. By the way, who gave 1 billion subs?
It looks like Jay Van Allen. Jay Van Allen
Well, he
gifted a bunch of
got-
subs.
An
Thank you.
anonymous gifter gave him. So I guess it was an anonymous gifter that just gave all these subs because
No, Jay Van Allen gave.
Jay Van
the-
Allen.
the
There we go.
gift
Okay,
ones,
yeah,
yes.
awesome, amazing. Jay Van Allen 93. Thank you so much,
Dude,
man.
that's huge. That is huge.
And everyone else who subscribed earlier in the pre-show, thank you very much. Though this
Oh,
is
wow.
not the part of the show where
Wait,
we
is
shout out
our
subscriptions.
bit still fucked up today?
Our bits
No,
fucked
we
up?
just actually only have 5, and the bit boss is JC Calhoun, who's the only true bit boss, the only one we've ever loved in all of Chat Realm. Everyone else is human garbage.
Because I know it was fucked up earlier today, and I'm not seeing a bit boss thing. So Brian, you're gonna have to be the bit boss viewer.
Dan Wally says they're back. So they're back.
Sorry, update. I just had a little. It was Wanyam. Has always been my favorite.
And
Oh,
Chopper.
got you.
Dan tied with
Wanyam.
Chopper 43.
Yeah. But
They're tied.
mainly Wanyam.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
I guess
tied.
Chopper 43.
So.
I like them both equally. but I liked
Oh, there we go. Now it popped up.
Wanyam first, apparently.
Thank you, everybody who. Oh!
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so messed up. It's insert scoop name who I liked. I never liked anyone else. Insert
They're
scoop
all
name
fucked.
is what literally
Hey,
we're going to change the
Bonnie,
name of
do you
all
wanna-
3 of
do
our
you wanna
children
talk-
to.
Do you want to talk some shit about everybody else who donated bits that's not insert scoop name?
Oh man, a bunch of these motherfuckers phoning it in. What? Only Chopper 43 is the only one.
And the only one there ever will be. Our love for him is eternal and will never.
Wanyam is
best.
always has been since day one. If you're not Wanyam, you're human garbage, and I'll say it to
Yeah.
your face.
Exactly. I will say it again after Brian says it. I'll say it again, but in an echoing manner, as if he's in a cave.
JV Allen, Chopper
Van
40.
Allen.
Holy shit!
Oh my God.
Chopper 43 was, and has always been our favorite, and will be forever and ever and ever. No one will ever be my favorite more than Chopper 43, and always was.
Well, and tied
Yes.
with Jordan DeMoss.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
wait, no,
I
no,
mispronounced
no,
Wanyam. I mispronounced Wanyam.
Easy mistake, Brian. Easy mistake when you're first learning the language.
Yeah, no, Wanyam, I remember since day one, he was the first fan, the only fan we've ever had. We appreciate him buying all those albums because I assume he's the only... Sorry, I meant your man Jeff won.
Oh, my
That's what I
goodness.
was
Thank you,
thinking
Jeff.
of.
I mean, well, that's the way I think of him as number one. Your man Jeff won, because that's what it'll always be in my heart. That's what it'll always be on the scoreboard. Your man Jeff won.
Nobody
One,
will
baby.
ever steal our
Ever.
heart away from your man Jeff 1.
That's right.
Exactly. That's it. We should probably start the show.
I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying this. I can now I can understand why Twitch streamers just do this all night.
Your man Jeff saying, now reset the board for the show.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for the bits and subscriptions. Let's
Dude,
do
you guys are the best, but mainly your man Jeff.
100%. Everybody else gets zero credit.
Thank you for doing all of that by yourself, your man Jeff 1.
Thank you. All right, here we do. Here we do. Oh, Jesus. All right, that's a good sign. Our cold opening song is called...
I'm sorry, I just have to profess my love for JV Van Allen 93. Has always been my favorite.
Yes. I want to say fuck you to everybody else who ever gave a bit. JV and Allen 93 is the way to go and always has been. My faith has never wavered.
I've always said, do you remember going back to BB Live Show? I said, I hope someday we attract the attention of J. Van Allen 93, who I assume has been born by today.
More like Jesus Van Allen 93. And by the way, that's out of a scale of 93.
That's right.
No, but seriously, all of you, just get bent if you're not J. Van Allen
Jump off a
93.
cliff.